Listen close, because what I'm about to tell you is the difference between being just another old guy in the room and being the man she can't stop thinking about. You've felt it, haven't you? That cold shiver when you walk into a bar or a lounge and feel like you're becoming invisible. You see these young cats with their fast cars and their flashy clothes, and you think the game has passed you by. You think your gray hair or those lines around your eyes are a liability. Bro, you couldn't be more wrong. If you're sitting there at 40, 50, or 60 feeling like you're out of the loop, wake up. You have something these young kids will never have. Wait, you have gravity, you have a story. And believe me, a high-value woman, especially a younger woman who's tired of the boy club drama, is hunting for that weight. But she isn't going to just hand you her heart on a silver platter. She's going to put you through the ringer first. She's going to test your frame to see if you're a king or just a tired old man playing dress-up. If you want to stop getting 100 views on your life and start getting that 2K view respect, you need to master the two questions she's going to use to dismantle you. Before we dive into the belly of the beast, hit that subscribe button right now. Don't be the guy who misses the lesson and wonders why he's eating dinner alone. Join the circle. Let's get to work. There's this visceral, raw emotion that happens when a woman looks at an older man and feels that spark. It's not about your bank account, though that helps. It's about your soul's stability. She's looking for a mountain, not a pebble that rolls away the second the wind blows. She's been lied to, ghosted, and played by guys her own age who don't know their head from their heart. When she sees you, she sees a potential exit from the chaos, but she's scared. She's terrified that you're just old and not wise. She's scared you're stagnant, bitter, or worst of all, desperate. To find out the truth, she's going to drop two psychological landmines in your lap. She'll do it with a smile, maybe over a glass of wine, acting all innocent. If you trip, it's over. You're just another creepy older guy in her phone's blocked list. But if you nail it, you become the legend she tells her friends about. The first question she's going to hit you with, and she'll do it early, is, so do you spend a lot of time by yourself or are you just a loner? Now, on the surface, this sounds like small talk. It's not. This is a high-stakes investigation into your social value and your emotional baggage. She's digging to see if you're a hermit who's forgotten how to live, or if you're a man who has mastered his own company. Most guys fail this instantly. They start rambling. Oh, well, since the divorce, I just stay home and watch Netflix. Or, yeah, I don't really like people much anymore. Stop. You just told her you're a dead-end street. You just told her you have zero main character energy. When a woman desires you, she wants to know she's entering a world that is already exciting. She wants to be an addition to your life, not your entire life. If you spend all your time alone because nobody wants to be around you, you're a red flag. If you spend time alone because you're building an empire, you're a trophy. To answer this first test, you need to show her that your solitude is a choice, not a sentence. You need to use that USA-style no-cap honesty. Tell her, I value my peace. My circle is small by design, not by accident. I've spent years figuring out who I am, so I don't waste time on people who don't bring value to the table. Boom, that's how you flip the script. You aren't lonely, you are selective. You aren't old and boring, you are refined. This triggers a deep psychological switch in her. Suddenly, she isn't wondering if you're a loner, she's wondering if she is high value enough to be allowed into your private world. You've just shifted the power dynamic. You aren't auditioning for her, she's auditioning for you. That's how a masculine man plays the game. Now, the second question is the real final boss of tests. She's going to lean in, look you dead in the eyes, and ask, what exactly are you looking for right now? Like, what's your end game? This is the intentionality test. This is where she checks to see if you're just a silver fox, looking for a quick thrill to feel young again, or if you're a man with a vision. Most men at this point get nice guy syndrome. They say, oh, I'm just looking for whatever happens, or I just want someone to make me happy. Lame, that's weak sauce, man. If you say you're looking for whatever, she hears that you have no standards. If you say you want her to make you happy, she hears that you're a burden who's going to lean on her for emotional support. A woman who desires an older man wants to be led. She wants to know that you have a map for your life and that you aren't going to get lost in her eyes and forget where you're going. The secret to passing the second test is the frame. You have to speak from a place of absolute authority. You tell her, I'm at a stage where I don't play games. I'm looking for someone who has their act together, someone who adds peace to my life, not chaos. I'm building something and I'm only interested in people who can run at my pace. Look, you aren't promising her a wedding ring on the first date, But you aren't acting like a lost puppy either. You're setting the terms. You're showing her that you have big energy to. You're telling her that you know your worth and you aren't afraid to walk away if she doesn't fit the blueprint. That's the USA accent of masculinity. Direct, unapologetic, and 100% real. When you answer like that, she doesn't just feel attracted, she feels safe. And for a woman, safety is the ultimate aphrodisiac. Let's talk about the slang of the soul for a minute. In today's world, everything is cringe or mid. If you act like you're trying too hard to be young, you're cringe. If you act like you've given up on life, you're mid. To stay in that high view, high value 2K plus range, you have to be authentic. Don't use slang that doesn't fit your mouth, but understand the vibe. The vibe is freedom. An older man who isn't bothered by the world is the most dangerous man in the room. When she tests you, she's checking for chinks in the armor. She's looking for that moment you flinch. If she asks about your ex or your kids or your money and you get defensive, you flinched. If you get angry, you flinched. The older man who wins is the one who smiles, takes a sip of his drink, and remains unbothered. You have to be the main character of your own movie. If she wants a role in it, she has to play by your rules. Understand this. Testing is a sign of interest. If she didn't want you, she wouldn't bother testing you. She'd just ignore you. So when these questions come, don't get annoyed. Get excited. It means you're in the game. It means she sees the potential for you to be that 1% man. But you have to maintain that cold stoicism mixed with a warm emotional intelligence. You have to be able to talk about the hard stuff, the losses, the struggles, without sounding like a victim. A man who has survived the fire and come out smelling like smoke is sexy. A man who's still crying about the fire is a project, and she isn't looking for a renovation job. She's looking for a finished mansion. As you move through these 60 minutes of your life, reflect on this. Are you living a life worth testing? If a woman walked into your house today, would she see a man who respects himself? Would she see books, goals, and a clean space? Or would she see a man who's waiting for a miracle? You have to be the miracle. You have to build the life first, and then the tests become easy because you're just speaking your truth. No cap, no lies, just a man who knows where he's going. If you've made it this far, it's because you know you have more in the tank. You know you're not done yet. So take these 2 questions, study them, and the next time she looks at you with that curious glint in her eyes, you give her the performance of a lifetime. Stay sharp, stay masculine, and never, ever let them see you sweat. Let's get one thing straight, bruh. The world doesn't owe you a damn thing just because you've got some gray in your beard and a few more zeros in your bank account. If you think you can just buy your way into a woman's heart or age your way into respect, you're down bad. Real talk. In this modern era, women are more hyper-aware than ever. They've seen the simps, they've seen the clout chasers, and they've definitely seen the older guys who are just trying to buy back their youth. When a woman starts testing you with those deep-seated questions we talked about, she's checking to see if you're mid or if you're actually a main character. She wants to know if your energy is no cap or if you're just fronting. This part of the discussion is for the men who are ready to stop being background characters in their own lives. If you want those 2K plus views on your personality, you've got to master the art of being unbothered. Before we break down the mental warfare of these tests, make sure you're locked in by hitting that subscribe button. We aren't here for the average, we're here for the elite. The biggest mistake you can make when she throws a test your way is to start explaining. The moment you start over-explaining your life, your past, or why you're alone, you've already lost. You're leaking beta energy. An alpha man, a man who understands his own value, doesn't need to justify his existence to anyone. Period. When she asks, "What are you looking for?" she's actually baiting you to see if you'll start simping for her approval. Most guys would say something like, "I'm looking for a girl just like you." Big L, that's a massive loss. You just handed her all the power. Instead, you need to maintain a frame that says, "I'm the prize." You should be thinking, "What are you bringing to my table?" That's the high-value mindset. It's not about being a jerk. It's about being stoic. It's about having that USA grime where you're tough, you're focused, and you're 100% real with yourself. If she isn't adding peace or value to your empire, she's just noise. And bruh, at your age, you don't have time for noise. Let's talk about emotional durability. This is where most older men fall off the cliff. They get a little attention from a beautiful younger woman, and they lose their minds. They start acting like a fan instead of a leader. Listen to me. She doesn't want another fan. She has thousands of those in her Instagram DMs. She wants a man. She wants someone who can look at her beauty and not be intimidated by it. When she asks if you're a loner, she's poking at your insecurities. She's trying to see if you're rent-free in your own head or if you're actually comfortable in your skin. If you get defensive, you're showing her that her opinion matters more than your own. That's a beta move. To pass the test, you have to be ice cold. Your solitude isn't a weakness, it's your fortress. You've spent years building your life, your wisdom, and your peace. That's your clout. Don't trade it for a temporary thrill. Stay focused on your mission, and she'll be the one trying to keep up with you. Now let's get into the slang of the soul, the vibe you carry. You need to understand that attraction in your 40s, 50s, or 60s is about quiet power. You don't need to bark to show you're the big dog. The way you sit, the way you hold eye contact, and the way you handle her tests tells the whole story. If she tries to trigger you by talking about other guys or by being low-key disrespectful, and you react, you're finished. But if you just smirk, acknowledge the game she's playing, and stay in your lane, that's Giga Chad energy. That's what makes her desire go through the roof. She realizes she can't game you. She realizes you're the one who sets the rules. This is why the script of your life needs to be rewritten. Stop playing for the 100 views of mediocrity. Start playing for the 2K views of excellence. Be the man who is so secure in his masculine frame that no question, no test, and no woman can shake him. Finally, remember this. A woman's desire is fueled by mystery. If you tell her everything about yourself in the first hour, you've killed the vibe. You've become mid. Keep your cards close to your chest. Let her wonder. Let her think about you when you're not around. When she asks those two questions, give her just enough to keep her hungry, but never enough to make her full. You are the meal, not the snack. You are the destination, not the pit stop. If you can handle these tests with the grace of a king and the grit of a street-smart hustler, you will never have to chase again. They will chase you. They will compete for your time. They will respect your boundaries. This isn't just about dating. It's about dominance over your own life. Now go out there, keep your head high, and show them what a real man looks like. No cap. Listen to me very carefully because this is where the rubber meets the road. If you fumble these tests, if you show her that you are needy, insecure, or desperate for her validation, you don't just lose the girl. You lose something much more valuable, your self-respect. When an older man fails these emotional check-ins, he doesn't get rejected outright. No, that would be too easy. Instead, he gets demoted. He gets friend-zoned. Or worse, he becomes her emotional tampon, the guy she calls to complain about the bad boys she's actually sleeping with. Or even worse than that, you become beta bucks, the safe older guy with resources whose wallet she respects, but whose masculinity she laughs at behind his back. That's a special kind of hell, bruh. And it happens to good men every single day because they didn't understand the assignment. They thought being nice was the answer when the answer was being real. If you don't want to end up in that simp hub, you need to internalize what I'm telling you. And if this is hitting home, make sure you're locked into this channel because we are the only ones telling you the ugly truth. Subscribe now. You need to understand the difference between scarcity mindset and abundance mindset. Most men over 40 are operating from a place of deep scarcity. They think, man, I'm getting old, beautiful women like this don't come around often. I better not mess this up. I better do whatever she wants. Wrong. That energy stinks of desperation, and women can smell it from a mile away. It's disgusting to them. A high-value woman wants a man who operates from abundance. This means you move through the world knowing deep down that you are the prize, and that if this woman doesn't recognize your value, there are plenty of others who will. It's not arrogance, it's a supreme confidence in your own worth. When you have an abundance mindset, you don't fear her tests. You welcome them. You think, okay, let's see if she qualifies to be in my world. Do you see the shift? You stop trying to impress her and you start evaluating her. That shift in energy is magnetic. It's the difference between begging for scraps and sitting at the head of the table. Let's get tactical with some real-world shit tests that happen after the big two questions. She will test your emotional stability constantly. For example, she might flake on a date last minute, or she might text you hours late just to see if you get butt hurt. A beta gets angry, sends a double text, or demands an explanation. He shows her that she controls his emotional state. An alpha, a man with a masculine frame, doesn't even blink. He doesn't get mad, he gets busy. He withdraws his attention. He shows her that his time is valuable, and if she disrespects it, she loses access to it. No drama, no yelling, just cold consequences. Another common test, she'll mention other guys, maybe some younger dude who's hitting on her. She's watching your face. Are you getting jealous? Are you getting insecure? If you do, you're down bad. The correct response is total indifference, or even better, amusement. You chuckle. You treat it like it's cute that she thinks that matters to you. Because when you are the main character, extras in the movie don't threaten you. Your age, your experience, the scars you carry, these aren't liabilities, man. These are your credentials. These young guys out here are renting their confidence. You own yours because you paid for it with life experience. But you have to believe that first. If you walk into a room apologizing for your existence, nobody is going to respect you. Stop trying to compete with the young guys on their level. You can't outrun them or outparty them. You beat them by being what they can't be: solid, unshakable, intentional. A woman who desires an older man is tired of the games. She wants a finisher. She wants a man who knows who he is and where he's going, and who won't compromise his mission for anyone. The tests she throws at you are just her way of kicking the tires to make sure the vehicle is built to last. So here's the final verdict. The next time a beautiful woman looks you in the eyes and asks, "Are you lonely?" or "What are you looking for?" realize that this isn't a casual conversation. It's an interview for the position of leader in her life. Don't stutter. Don't apologize. Look her dead in the soul, hold that frame, and speak your truth with the weight of a man who has lived. If she can handle that truth, you found something real. If she runs, good riddance. You just saved yourself time. Because a king doesn't chase. A king builds his kingdom, and the right queen will find her way to the gates. Stay dangerous, stay focused, and never let your crown slip. Peace. Look, we've covered a lot of ground today. We've peeled back the layers of female psychology and looked into the mirror of our own insecurities. But at the end of the day, this isn't just about passing some tests or winning over a woman. This is about you. This is about the man you see when the lights go out and the world is quiet. Are you the man who is constantly looking for someone else to fill the void? Or are you the man who has built a world so solid that anyone would be lucky to stand in your shadow? Understand this. Your age isn't a countdown to being irrelevant. It's a countdown to becoming legendary. Every gray hair is a battle won. Every wrinkle is a story of survival. Don't you dare let some modern, fast-paced dating culture make you feel like you're mid or past your prime. You are in the prime of your power. The tests she throws at you, they are just confirmation that she sees that power too. She's checking to see if it's real. So show her it's real. Show yourself it's real. Walk with your head high, keep your frame unbreakable, and never settle for someone who doesn't respect the kingdom you've built. If this message resonated with you, if it woke something up inside that's been dormant for too long, then don't just walk away. Join this brotherhood. Hit that subscribe button right now and turn on the notifications. We're building a tribe of men who refuse to be invisible. Drop a comment below and just type, "I am the prize." Let the world know you're locked in. It's time to stop chasing and start leading. Go out there and be the man you were born to be. No excuses, no cap, just pure, unadulterated strength.